Hey guys, on today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this really cool Syma X8C camera mount that's going to hopefully stop any jello you have on your quadcopter. Let's get started. Okay, one of the most important things you're going to need is this white foam stuff. Now, this might be something that you have in your kitchen. I actually got this from the dollar store. Normally it has a little German flag on here, and it's actually used for cleaning the sinks and stoves. What you do is you just break a piece off like so, and you scrub the sink, whatever you have, just a little bit of water, and it's absolutely amazing. Well, instead of using styrofoam or different types of foams, I thought let's try this out. And I looked on the back of the packaging, and it actually said melamine foam. Well, I went over to Wikipedia. And melamine foam is an active component of Procter & Gamble's product, Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, as well as other similar cleaning products. It's also used as the main sound and thermal insulation material for bullet trains due to its high sound absorption, excellent thermal insulation performance, and lightweight. Okay, so basically this stuff is used for soundproofing. And that's when I went, oh my God, I just found the perfect material. Okay. So let's move on to some of the other things you're going to need. Okay, first thing you're going to need is some of this foam. Mine actually is just cut already into these perfect little squares. Some black spray paint. This is optional. You don't necessarily need this, but this is called Mod Podge, and it's basically like a gloss finish, and that's how I get that nice sort of look to the foam. You're gonna need a hole puncher, some Velcro, 3 credit cards, some of these zip ties, and you're gonna need a heat gun. Okay, so what you do is you take your first credit card and you punch 4 holes into it like this. Okay, so you go 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Same thing you're going to do on this other card. You do the same thing, 4 holes. So you're gonna have 2 cards that look like this afterwards. Okay, the one card, you're not going to do anything to it. What you do is you get your card, I'll use the orange one, you get your card and you place it over the foam, and then you just cut it exactly the same shape. It's really easy to do. I'd probably use a cutting knife, just use a big old knife. Now be careful, this stuff, it can rip pretty easily, so be really careful with it. Okay, the next thing you do, take your heat gun. Once you got that perfect square, just put a whole bunch of this heat glue on there and place your card on top, wait a couple of minutes, and boom, it is done. Next step, you take these cards and you just take the zip ties. I'm gonna put a video of the guy who originally did this, but what you do is you take these zip cords and you put them through the holes, you match them up, and basically in the end you get something that looks like this. Okay, this was actually my first prototype version, and that's what it looks like when you put all the zip ties in perfectly with the credit card. Okay, the next step is really easy. Now this material actually kind of breaks. If you pull on it, it'll actually rip along the seams. So what I did is I took my heat gun and I just started to cake on tons of this glue. I used an old card or something, and I basically just started going along like this and just sort of rubbing it in like paint. And I did this to all 4 sides. Okay? Next thing I did is I took some Velcro, put that on top, and for extra insurance, I added more glue again along the seams of the Velcro, and that created a nice bond between the Velcro and the material. On this version over here, what I did is once I had placed all of the glue on here, I took my spray paint and I spray painted it black. Because I mean, why not, right? You might as well have that nice black finish to it. It's a black quadcopter, let's go with a black mount. Oh yeah, and don't forget too, for an extra cool finish, let's spray paint those credit cards also. Give it that complete black look. Okay, and finally the last thing I did is I took some of this Mod Podge glue and I just glued that over top of the spray paint. And what this does is it just creates a nice finish, a nice gloss to the material itself. And I'll tell you right now, this will never fall apart. Again, the problem with this material is if you kind of yank on one of the corners, it will kind of rip. And that's something I was worried about, okay? With this version here, I mean, it is on. So what we have is the hot glue, we've got the spray paint, and then finally we've got the Mod Podge. So it's 3 different layers. And again, the vibrations are gonna go right through this material and it's gonna stop by the time it gets to these zip ties and your camera is sitting pretty, okay? The camera itself, this is a Mobius C2. I might put a couple of holes here on the bottom and then maybe put a zip tie through that. I'm not too sure, but currently it sits really good. It's really strong. I'm pretty happy with it. And what you do on your quadcopter, just bring it over, hopefully you can see it, just under the belly, put some more Velcro, and there you have it. That is a really cool mounting system that looks pretty cool. As you can see there, that's how it sits. Okay guys, if you have any questions, I will do my absolute best to answer them. I'm gonna put a link under this video so you can see how the original person created this credit card mount. All I did is I just took that and made what I believe is a better version that works. Another tip you can do is if you're gonna cut this on an angle, what you wanna do is just take a little black pen. I'll take my blue pen here, take a credit card, just work the angle that you wanna cut this on like so. And what you can do is just cut it like so with a big knife, and you could create different angles. You could have some that are on 20%, 50%, I don't know, you could have different angles. You could create multiples of these and then just have them in your bag. And you know, maybe some you could have, you know, angled more down towards the location like this. You could have some that are more sort of pointed up. You know, you could have different variations. Okay guys, I hope this video has been informative. I hope you've learned something new and hopefully no more Jello in your videos. Thanks guys, this has been Nigel from Fukuoka, Japan. Thanks for watching. Peace.